So, hello everyone. Thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you for having me at PHP Hampshire. Was anyone here the last time I spoke at PHP Hampshire? Lee was.
It was in the other building, I remember.
It was upstairs in a bar, behind a bar or something, a social club or something. Oh, a long time ago. So I'm here to talk about Minikube and Kubernetes and give you an introduction to them. A tiny bit about me first, as I'm new to you all. I've been in the software industry 25 years. I started in the pre-web days, when the industry was very different to how it is today. Along the way, I've done most roles from CTO downwards. I haven't seen everything, but I have seen a lot, because I've done this over academia, startups, enterprise, and government projects. And I give these series of talks to share the experience I've had and what I've seen, so hopefully you don't have to go through the pain I've had over the years, fingers crossed. These days I run my own company called Ganbaro Digital, where I've given myself the job title of Chief Software Archaeologist. Because what's the point of having your own company if you don't have a bit of fun with it? We're a consulting company, and we're on Twitter at Ganbaro Digital. Please feel free to follow us if you want tech stuff. If you want to follow me personally on Twitter, you're very welcome to. However, be warned, how can I put this? I'm passionate about my causes, I'm passionate about my hobbies, and I tweet a lot about both. So if you'd rather only see tech stuff, follow the company instead. All right? So, containers. How many of you use Docker daily for dev work? A couple of people? 3 people? 4 people? Okay. This isn't to talk about Docker. I need to make sure that's clear. I've done a couple of talks about Docker already. I spoke at PHP Minds in Nottingham last year and PHP Essex earlier this year about Docker. Those talks were also videoed, they're up on YouTube. And if the QR code generator isn't dodgy, that should take you to one of those talks where you can see all the slides, fingers crossed. We're here to talk about running containers in production. How many of you actually use containers in production? Yep, a couple of people. Excellent. What are you using? How are you doing it?
Kubernetes.
You're doing Kubernetes. Fantastic. You can check over my stuff then and tell me what I screwed up in my talk. That's brilliant. How about yourself?
We're starting to use Kubernetes, but what are we using? Yeah, we are doing
Kubernetes as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's what I'm using in production. And I describe Kubernetes as the end game for Docker containers. It's only when you've taken containers all the way through to production that you get in the full benefits of containers, and you learn kind of the hard way how to tweak the containers so they work across that entire software development lifecycle. That's the only time you get it. I'm also going to talk about Minikube, because Minikube is a way for you to get at Kubernetes, get some experience with it, and use it for local dev environments. Because it gives you most of Kubernetes on your dev box with a lot of caveats. And there's a lot of caveats. It's going to take me quite a while to go through all of those. Now, one of the things about Kubernetes, I don't know if you're aware, is it's actually, it's not just an open source project. It's a project where different vendors are coming together to collaborate on creating a platform through the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. And it's that collaboration that's helping Kubernetes become the de facto platform for containers in production. Everyone else is starting to build solutions to make Kubernetes more accessible rather than to compete with Kubernetes these days. Something else to be aware of is Kubernetes is a paradigm shift. It is something different. And we're going to spend quite a bit of time talking about that as well. I'll give you some examples to help you see why it's different. It's impossible to not mention Google. Okay? So I'm going to look at an introduction to Kubernetes. We're going to do an introduction to Minikube. We're going to talk about how to think in terms of Kubernetes. Does that sound all right? Is that the kind of thing you were hoping for and expecting when you decided to come along? Excellent. Now, I want to make it clear, I'm not standing up here and saying I am any sort of Kubernetes expert whatsoever. I am not. I'm just a user. I'm just someone who uses it. And all I'm doing is sharing my experience and probably my misunderstandings that I've got to date. So those of you who are using Kubernetes as well, please shout up because I'm here to learn from you as well and what you've seen and what you've done. You may have solutions to things that I've not come up with, so that'd be excellent. And those of you who aren't using Kubernetes yet, please feel free to ask questions throughout.